What's up, y'all? My name is Craig Schuster. This is episode 3 of the Goodnight Junior songwriter series. The Goodnight Junior album is available on Amazon, iTunes, and CD Baby. Get it and follow along. Episode 3 will be Cross That Bridge, track 3. And, these are the stories of how these songs were written and recorded. And many people will say they were there, but if they try to deny it, I have YouTube footage on this one that proves they were. After I play the song, I'll explain.
I was born by the railroad track. I'm back home at age 13 and I ain't going back. Cross that bridge, cross that bridge, cross that bridge out of misery. Cross that bridge over the mighty Mississippi. Cross that bridge down in Memphis, Tennessee. I was born by the railroad tracks. Don't send me back. Don't send me back. Don't send me back. I was still too young to choose. By the time I could make my mind happy, them old St. Louis blues. Don't send me back. Rolling down that river to Memphis, Tennessee. If it roll again, I'm gonna hit the end. See you in New Orleans, don't send me back. Ground and it's my time to go. Shove my coffin off into the Gulf of Mexico. But don't send me back. 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 Don't send me. I was born by the railroad tracks. Don't send me back.
Somebody told me that Memphis is the most sung about city in the world. They said it was researched. I'm not really sure. I looked it up, and if you look at lyrics.com, there's 2,028 lyrical entries that have the word Memphis in them. If you wait a couple days until my submission of these lyrics go through, then there will be at least 2,029 lyrics with the word Memphis in them. So these lyrics are basically the map of my life. We start in Warrensburg, Missouri, where I was born. At age 13, we left there. Went to Jefferson City, Missouri, on down the river to St. Louis, down the Mississippi River to Memphis, into Mississippi, and I still fantasize about the concept that someday I might end up in New Orleans. And yes, if you outlast me, you can shove my coffin off into the Gulf of Mexico. I'm fine with that. It's also an internal rhyme that I really like, so it's fine if that's the way I go. But ideally, someday, there'll be like a riverboat tour that takes you from the birthplace of Craig Schuster on through St. Louis, Memphis, down to New Orleans, and you can swim around in the Gulf and look for my remains. Alright, so I'll put a link to this YouTube video that's behind me of us pushing the piano down the street. That was my free piano that we pushed down the street from my house. By the way, there's no such thing as a free piano. I had to pay the piano tuner, Tony Thomas. He does amazing work. The piano is 150 years old, and he did a pitch raise on it first, and then I paid a piano mover to move it down to the street. Then he tuned it for the video, and we pushed it down the street, obviously knocking it out of tune, and then he tuned it again once it was in the house. But pushing it down the street was a whole production. We had two guys pushing, Robert Cam and Tony Walsh, and two guys filming, Chris Person and Corey Lakers, and myself. All I had to do was play the piano, sing, and do a cross-step pattern up and down the street in 2 takes. Because after the first take, I wasn't really happy with it, and Robert and Tony were like, Junior, you got 1 more take. We're not pushing this thing all day. So we got what we got in that take. This is it right here. And then we all pushed it. And once we all were pushing, I was just trying to kind of hold the piano up in place really more than anything because I thought it was going to fall. And all of a sudden the piano stops and Robert stands there and goes, I knew I was the only bleepity bleep pushing this bleepity bleep down the street. And so we all pushed a little harder after that, and we got it all the way up into the backyard onto the deck, and then we had a party that night. So we did have a party that night, and we did get the piano in the house at the end of that night. Thanks to Evan Hicks, myself, and 2 drunk guys that happened to be really strong. We got the piano all the way into the house, only scratching up the floor a little bit. And it's moved since then. It's down here in Mississippi with me, thanks to Adam Quinn, Patrick Wright, Warren Eldred, and all the other people that have helped me move this piano over the years. And over the years, I've studied piano tuning and repair, and I still have some work to do on this thing because it's 150 years old, but it still sounds pretty good. So as y'all know by now, one of the best ways that you can support your local and favorite artists and especially songwriters is to purchase their music. So go to iTunes, Amazon, or CD Baby, or all 3, and go ahead and get the Goodnight Junior Craig Schuster album, and I will see you next week.